Hi everyone, my name is Michaela and I am here today for Chia's Tips at 3 with my daughter Addie. And we are actually both homeschool grads. We both graduated from high school, homeschooling. And she graduated just last year. I'm not going to say what year I graduated, but we are here today to share some tips for teens and tweens to encourage you during this time when everyone needs to stay home and just get through this season homeschooling with teens and tweens.
Awesome. So the first point we wanted to hit on was just to take time and just you have enough space being a homeschooler to pursue your passion. So like something I did all throughout high school and still now was just making YouTube videos, and I have a YouTube channel that's constantly growing, and it's a lot of fun because you have so much time to get to spend on editing videos, filming them, because you have so much free time. So it's really awesome to get to stop, and I've explored photography and getting to do photo shoots when no one's there, and just having a lot of availability from being homeschooled. You have so much more time to explore things that you wouldn't usually get to if you were stuck in school for 7 to 8 hours a day.
Yeah, and I just want to encourage the parents. I mean, some parents might think, oh my goodness, she's spending time on YouTube. Is that really something worth pursuing? Is that really something that you should be allowing her to spend time on? And actually, it has now come through after she's graduated. She uses it for her job. What she learned when she was a teenager, she now applies in her workforce. And it's actually been something that has really grown. She's received sponsors. She's partnered with different companies who have sent her products, and it's actually been something that's really successful, even though it started out really small and simple in our backyard, something that she was just pursuing when she was younger. So don't be afraid to let your kids pursue their passions, whatever that might be.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that you may not think is that important, but it's also just getting your full 8 hours of sleep, and having time to sleep in and nap is an important part of your day, just because you need that energy. And so when you're in school, you're constantly rushing, staying up late to do homework, and then you're getting up super early the next morning. So while you're homeschooled, and especially while in quarantine, you have plenty of time to sleep and catch up on all of your hours that you may have missed before. So it's important because you need to mentally and physically just give yourself energy. So I was able to have a lot of time for that, and to not be as stressed. Honestly, I felt like I was a lot more relaxed because I didn't have to wake up super early. So that's really nice too.
And I think during this time, I know even as an adult, for me, this season is emotionally and mentally weighing. It is very stressful. We have a lot of things that our minds are thinking about, and I even find myself a little more tired than usual. So think about the teens, think about their bodies growing and their emotions and everything changing, those hormones, and just give them time to even have a little bit of extra sleep during this season.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to talk about was being able to have real conversations with your parents, with friends, and you just have so much more leeway for all the things that you might not have gotten to do, especially in quarantine. You have so much time to catch up with people if you want to spend time FaceTiming with them or writing letters, and just even asking questions, like asking good questions with your parents. We've had a lot of different talks about things during quarantine, just exploring more and getting to be open and honest, and just having more trust as parents with your kids as they ask you questions. And you can just explore that in all different ways with your friends and parents too. So
yeah, we've always had a really open relationship, and I feel like homeschooling just paves a way to have a lot of open communication and time to talk with your kids. So it's really a blessing and a gift from God that we have this time to spend with each other, and we should really use it to get to know our kids, to get to know and to share our family values, why we do things, why are we making the decisions that we're doing, and just be open with each other.
Mm-hmm. Another thing is, don't be afraid to try college classes. So my junior year, I started taking college classes part-time. And so my junior and senior year, I finished out with 18 college credits. That is not like a huge amount, but it still set me ahead. And it was something that was a big blessing in my life. And so I'm continuing it now with the same courses, but it kind of gave me a kickstart to it because I had so much time. And a lot of people were like, what? Like, you're getting ahead? Like, that's super awesome because you have so much time to get ahead.
Yeah, if you're not familiar, it's called dual enrollment. And you can kind of kill two birds with one stone. So maybe you need a high school English class. You could take high school and college English and kill both at the same time. And so that's something while you're in quarantine, and even afterwards, definitely explore dual enrollment. I wish I had done it when I was homeschooling, but wasn't really such a big thing, but now it's available. So many different online courses, campus courses, just so many options now.
I just picked up another class due to quarantine because there was free time, so I just added on another one. It's super easy when you're taking classes online to start that way. And it's like when you're already homeschooled, you kind of already know how those things work. So you're setting yourself up for it. Another thing I wanted to talk about was a Dave Ramsey class that I took. That this name has been floating around. I'm sure everyone knows who Dave Ramsey is, but he is the finance guy. And when she first told me about it, I was like, okay, like it seems like everyone might know this already, and kind of just, I didn't go into it with an open mind. But as I started taking it, I was like, wow, this stuff is actually life-changing, and I apply it to my life now, even though I took it 2 to 3 years ago. So I definitely recommend this class. I did take it my junior year, and you might think that's a little bit young, but this class that we took is specifically for homeschoolers in high school. So it's very applicable, and he's not telling you need to go out and like buy a house right now. Like he brings it down and he brings it to your level, and it's really, really good, and it was super applicable. Another thing we wanted to talk about was 1,000 Gifts journal. So I did start a journal a few years ago where I just wrote down over a period of time 1,000 things that I was thankful for. And it's a lot harder than it sounds, but it was a huge blessing to get to do. And so now you have all the free time in the world pretty much during quarantine. So that's definitely something I would encourage you to tell your teenagers as an idea of something they could do, just because it's a really great way to just reflect on all the things that God's given you, from little things to big things, and you really realize, you're like, wow, there are 1,000 things I could be thankful for, and it's a lot harder than you might think.
Well, and especially during this quarantine time, it's so easy to focus on the negative and the things that maybe we're worried about or things that we're scared about, but we want to just focus on the positive and like shift your thinking to have your focus on the Lord. And so that's just kind of like a tangible way that adults, kids, you could do it with your kids as a family. Anybody could do 1,000 Gifts journal. So yeah, it's like a joy dare.
Yeah. The last thing I wanted to touch on really quick was just being able to serve still. I found multiple ways that I've been serving by calling people from our church ministry or staying on Zoom calls with the leaders and going through Bible plans together. And this is a really good way to stay positive and to be in community still. So I definitely recommend finding little ways to serve, even if it's serving your family in your household, but not leaving that part behind just because you're not attending church weekly or you're not in the nursery with the kids, but still having a way to serve.
Yeah, and even when this quarantine stay-at-home order is lifted, I just want to encourage you, if you have teens and tweens, to give them opportunities where they can get out of the house, where they can serve. It really helps, I think, them to find joy, them to find friends, them to find connections that are outside of your immediate household, and just give them an outlet and a way that they can use the gifts that you've been pouring into them, all the ways you've been training them. They can use those gifts and apply them in real life. And so there's so many different ways that we can do that. And that's just something, as Christians, I think we should always be striving to do. So anyways, we hope this was encouraging to you today. We will be back tomorrow with Chia's Tips at 3. God bless you.
Thank you, guys.